Welcome to my country kitchen in Manta, Ecuador. This is the perfect kitchen for fermentation because it is always warm. So the climate or the environment for fermented foods is excellent, whether I'm making sauerkraut or ginger ale or water kefir or milk kefir. The atmosphere, the temperature has a big influence on how fast it ferments. And in this kitchen, it's about always 82 degrees. And I say that I just took this out of the refrigerator to cool it down, and it's already up to 82.4. And if I bring it over here where most of my stuff sits on the counter to ferment, it starts to go up to about 83 to 85 degrees. So it's always warm over here. And today I want to show you, I kind of teased you with the surprise of, sorry about my hand in front of the camera. I kind of teased you about the different types of way to make a really bubbly, fizzy drink because Manta is always warm, always warm. We're right on the coast, right on the Pacific Ocean, and so you always want to have something cool to drink. And if you start drinking sodas, we all know that sodas are not very nutritious, and you don't want. Sodas aren't very nutritious. They're loaded with sugar and preservatives, and so we try to get away from that. And I've gotten completely away from that because I tell you, I could drink a lot of soda on these hot days, and now I have completely changed over to either water kefir or the milk kefirs, and then the bubbly sodas made out of whey. And I kind of teased you earlier about the 3 ways that you can get a bubbly, fizzy soda type drink from fruit juices. Now, fruit juices are better than sodas, yes, but fruit juices are also loaded with natural sugars. And if you're diabetic, thank goodness I'm not, but a lot of my family is, you still don't want to be drinking fruit juices all day because they're loaded with sugar. But so you might take what, 6 apples to make apple juice, and so 1 big heaping glass of cold apple juice, you're getting the sugar of maybe 6 or more apples. And with any other fruit juice, because it's so concentrated, they don't have to add other sugars. Now the exception would be cranberries. The pure cranberry juice is a very tart juice with not a lot of sugar, and so when I'm making cranberry soda, and I use that term loosely, the fermented cranberry drink, I add a teeny bit of sugar. But the way to enjoy fruit juices during the day and not worry about the sugar is to ferment it, because the wonderful water kefir grains right here, that's what they feed on. They feed on sugar. And this is a fresh batch that's going. So right now it's not very bubbly, but you've seen in past videos, in about 24 to 48 hours, there's going to be bubbles just coming up here. And that's what I mix with the fruit juices. So this is the first fermentation stage where the kefir grains, the water kefir grains, turn the water into water kefir, and it becomes bubbly. Then I mix that water kefir with a fruit juice, and it eats up the sugar in the fruit juice. So you get a nice, refreshing, bubbly drink that's healthy, that's loaded with probiotics. So it's actually good for you, and it's eating up the sugar. And one of the ways that you can make that is through ginger, making a ginger bug, and I have a video on that. And the other way is using the water kefir grains, and the third way is actually whey. That's using milk kefir, the liquid in milk kefir. I'm making a milk kefir. This one's kind of thick. I let it get over ferment it because I wanted you to clearly see that liquid separation. So what's here is the kefir grains and the milk product, and what's down here is the whey, the liquid whey. And people will call that, and it's WHEY, they will call that liquid gold because it is loaded with probiotics and enzymes. And like if you're an athlete or a runner, they buy the powdered whey and mix it protein whey, plant-based whey, and they're mixing it because it's loaded with amino acids and everything that's good for your body. Well, the liquid whey has also eats up the sugar, feeds on the sugar, and you can make a drink out of the liquid whey, out of the liquid gold. Of course, I strain it off and it's a very clear liquid, and there's a video on that. But these drinks right here were made from the whey. They didn't have water kefir grains. They had only the liquid whey and the fruit juice. And I think these are ready, and let's see how, if you can hear how the pressure that's built up. They're already, I don't know if you can see the bubbles, but I can see the bubbles. These have been setting for 24 hours. Whoa. So you can see, you heard the fizz blow. And it will actually continue to fizz up and go over. And so you can't explode a bottle, which is why you need to have these special bottles, and they need to be pressurized bottles that can take the pressure of the fermentation and the bubbles. And yeah, and I've only had one explode on me, so I pay very close attention. But this is now ready for me to put it in a refrigerator, which will slow down and stop the fermentation, so I don't have to worry about too much pressure building up. But this was made, I'm so excited, you can see that the whey, and I prefer using the whey instead of the water kefir and the ginger ale because it actually seems to eat up more of the sugar. And so I use it for my very sweet, sorry about that. I use it for the fruit juices that are full of sugar, like pineapple and watermelon. They are loaded with sugar. And so I would have to ferment them with the water kefir and the ginger ale to the point where it almost became a ginger beer. And I don't want that. By using the whey, it seems to pull more of the sweetness out, so I get a tart, fresh pineapple taste. It is absolutely magnificent. And so I will have an in-depth video on how, very detailed, follow me recipe as I make it out of the whey. So stay tuned for that one. That one will probably be in one on the YouTube where you've actually joined and as a member of my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Deborah Valerie, 60 plus, Black Woman Expat. And I think this part of the day-to-day life as an expat is very important because it doesn't matter where you are in the world. The one thing you're going to do is eat. And I have learned in my years that food is medicine. And if you eat properly and have a healthy gut, no matter where you live in the world, it's important to have a healthy gut so that you can digest the food. Doesn't matter how good and nutritious the food may be. If your gut is so unhealthy that you cannot absorb those nutrients, you're setting yourself up not to get the most out of any environment. So I'm so blessed to be in Manta where fruit grow abundantly, and it's very, very inexpensive for me to get fresh fruit juices every single day. I got, I'll show you the two I got this morning. Just this morning on my morning walk, I got my breakfast to go, and I got watermelon, so I didn't have to cut up a watermelon and put it in my blender and then squeeze it through a nut bag. I got fresh water. You can see the pulp at the bottom. It's so pretty. It's even prettier it's a lighter color pink after it's fermented with the whey. So I'm going to use that. And then I got the pineapple. So the pineapple, the very sweet natural juices are the ones that I like to use and ferment and make fizzly and bubbly, refreshing drink using the whey. And I'll show you the clear color. When I filter off the whey from the milk, it's almost this color, clear. And that's what I use. So stay tuned. Be sure and join so that you can see me go through making it step by step. Until then, be blessed. Never give up on your dreams. Bye. Hi. Welcome to my country kitchen. This is a fresh jar of, it's been sitting for fermenting for 24 hours to make this wonderful pineapple kind of soda drink, but it's not soda. It's fermented with whey, which is the liquid that comes off of milk kefir grains. When you separate the milk and the kefir grains, if you let it ferment, kind of over ferment, it makes the liquid whey at the bottom in between. And I take that liquid and mix it with a very, very naturally sweet fruit juice like pineapple, and I get this wonderful pineapple drink that's not super sweet. There's no sugar added, and because I mix it with whey, it seems to eat up the sweetness and sugar a lot more effective than the water kefir grains and the ginger ale. So it's a nice fresh pineapple taste. And you hear the pop, and then it fizzes up into this nice bubbly drink. I've already burped this one because earlier I burped it and it overflowed. So it's been burped in the last few minutes, and you still heard a little pop. So now it's time. I hope you can see, yeah, you can see how it bubbles up. That's like a little champagne. It is so refreshing. I'm gonna pop this in the refrigerator to stop it from fermenting. I'll actually make a video that shows me actually making it, so you can learn how to make your own probiotic healthy drink where the sugar is consumed by the good bacteria and will help give you a healthy intestinal digestive tract. And that's what we all want, a healthy gut. So until next time, eat healthy, never give up on your dreams wherever you live in the world. Eating healthy is very important. Until next time, bye.